I'm James Barnes, and welcome to the Heads Up Report. Each week I bring you important information that affects you and your business, including mortgage underwriting guideline updates, insight from real estate experts, a clip of the week, and tech tips to show you how to use your computer and the internet more efficiently. If you like what you see, please send me a comment using the comment button below, and I'll try to implement your idea in our next presentation. I know you're really busy, so grab a cup of coffee or Coke, and let's get started. On September 1st, 2009, we had several major underwriting changes that you should be aware of. Here are some of these changes and how they're going to affect your clients and the processing of a loan. Everyone now must get income tax transcripts, regardless if you're self-employed or salaried. Normally, we can use a transcript service, and we can get the income tax information back from the IRS in a day or so. But if they had not filed the tax returns in the past, or there's any question about why it doesn't match their income that they gave us, there could be a problem with the processing and a delay. Number 2, no more trailing spouse income. Only the income of the spouse with the actual employment can be considered. Previously, it was possible to use 50 to 75% of the relocation spouse's income from their employer. But now you can have to use only the person with the actual job today. Number 3, credit documentation can no longer be 120 days old, only 90 days old. This change is going to affect new construction, relocation, and short sales. Make sure you tell your clients that they might have to update their entire credit file before they close if you think it's going to take more than 90 days from the day of application. Stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. In the past, we used to be able to use 100% of these toward the reserve requirements for the loan. Fannie Mae has cut that back to 70%, and for 401ks and IRAs, 60%. Now that doesn't sound like much on face value, but if you have a borrower who has rental properties, the newer guidelines say we have to have 6 months PITI for each property. If we had to cut back his 401k or his stock, bonds, or mutual funds by 30 to 40%, he may no longer have enough reserves to do the loan. Underwriting guideline change number 5. All borrowers must have a 620 credit score. Now, for those of you who work with first-time home buyers, this can be a particularly bad problem. Lenders are more reluctant to take alternative forms of credit in order to establish a credit score. So if you get a credit score back with less than a 620, you're going to be very, very limited of where that loan can be sold. Underwriting guideline change number 7. Non-occupant co-borrowers. Because of the previous guideline change where everybody has to have a 620 credit score, that forces FHA to utilize this guideline. FHA says that every borrower has to have a 620 credit score, and if they don't have a credit score, you cannot use non-occupant co-borrowers. So what does that mean to you out there in UT and Texas A&M and Texas State University? If a parent comes in to buy a property for a child and wants to use FHA financing, which we've done forever, this is a huge problem. Typically, an 18-year-old person does not have a credit score. If that's the case, you cannot use alternative credit to give them a credit score, because then that violates this guideline, and the parents cannot be considered non-occupant co-borrowers. So, what is this going to do to the college kiddie condo market? That's right. So if you do have a kiddie condo situation, what are your choices? Well, Chase Bank right now can do 10% down and do a second home or a vacation home. That's really about it. Most of the other lenders are not allowing that. So if you have a situation that's going to be a kiddie condo or a parent buying a home for a child, you need to be very, very careful to make sure that that program is still available before you write the contract.
With the foreclosure rate at record highs, would-be homeowners are flocking to auctions like this in hopes of picking up a bargain.
Hopefully, if I get lucky this time, maybe I get something.
But at many of these auctions, there's something the hopeful might not realize. Just because the auctioneer says it's sold doesn't mean you get to buy, at least not at the price you think you do. Because if you read the fine print, you'll see that most property at these heavily advertised public auctions is sold subject to the lender's approval. which means that if your winning bid isn't high enough, the lender can try to get you to pay more or simply refuse to sell. That comes as a surprise to many.
I thought I put a bid in, I'd get the property.
And that's what happens the vast majority of the time at most auctions. It's just not always guaranteed. And some would-be homeowners have felt so misled, they've actually sued the auction companies, something they might have avoided had they read the fine print and understood how these auctions really work. Bottom line, at most of these auctions, you might get a deal, but you're not likely to get a steal. Because when that auctioneer's gavel comes down and he says sold, it's not necessarily sold. For Money Talks, I'm Stacey Johnson.
Today I'd like to talk about a few things I found that are available for your mobile phone. I'm always driving around and looking for tools to help me make my day easier. So here's a few things that I found. If you go to this address, http://smarteragent.com/for-sale SAWAP, you'll end up at the Smarter Agent site. Smarter Agent is a phone site designed to help you look at listings and information. The screen that you're seeing now is what you would actually see on your mobile phone. So you go to this website, you can see all the homes for sale, realestate.com, or browse a particular broker showcase for Coldwell Banker or whatever. Let's click on Homes for Sale. If you clicked on Homes for Sale, you can search by neighborhood, by zip code, by whatever. So I'm in 78729. So let's go 78729 and submit. Put in my price range, and this is really easy to do on your cell phone too. The way they have their menu set up, it's no big deal at all to do this. It doesn't take any time, and you can submit. In just a couple seconds, you're going to see the homes that meet this criteria, and because it's designed specifically for your phone, it's really easy to see the information. You're driving by a house and you just need it. Here you're going to have everything you want to know about the property, and you can actually even click the call, then do new search. But anyway, this is a great tool. If you just need basically a mini MLS and you don't like to have to use Realtor.com, this is really great. Another tool I use all the time is free411.com. I really hate to pay search charges for trying to get a phone number. So if you call 1-800-4FREE-111, then you're good. You just call there, you have to listen to about a 15-second little commercial, and then you put in your number you're asking for, and you'll get the number. Well, that's it for the first heads-up video report. I'm sure as time goes by I'll get better at this, but please use the comment button below to send me suggestions and your comments and participate in the discussion. I'll see you next week.